Hello, collective. Happy July 25th. We're in Leo season. We are in Leo season. So we're off the ocean. I love Cancer, but if you don't have sea legs, that ocean is a lot of water. So let's get into some fire. Fire. The fireplace. Leo's the fireplace. We're all during Christmas and stuff, you're around the fireplace. It's warm, it's congenial. Spirit gave me some good stuff today. Spirit gave me a lot of good stuff today. This is my third reading, but I'm gonna post this one, I promise. Okay, so I charted the planets, okay? So this is you individually, this is your home, this is relationships and community, and then this is spirit world, this is religion. Okay, all the planets right now are sitting up here, okay, with religion, spirit, and relationships, community. They're all sitting up here. What's interesting about that is Jupiter, Neptune, Saturn, all are sitting in their own house right now. I didn't chart asteroids. That doesn't mean there's asteroids by them, but for the most part, because they're so big, those planets have their own house, which means regardless of the landlord, regardless of what time you do the chart, they're sitting in there by themselves, and they're gonna dominate the energy for those houses up here in your relationships, transforming those. Saturn's the rules you follow in those relationships. It's changing. They're by themselves in that house, so that's really important. Up here is Uranus, your ancestors, and guess what's sitting by your ancestors? But Mars. Mars is action, okay? It's helping those ancestors put into action your voice, because your voice is this arrow right up here. This is you, okay, collective. This is your voice, your I am. That's your voice. Your ancestors sitting right up there, helping your voice be heard. Because for so long you couldn't have your own voice, and now you can, because your ancestors are helping you with Mars, and they're going to sit up there for a while. Those big players, okay. Now Pluto's down here in its own house. Pluto's going to transform your home. And it's going to do that on its own. Let it do it on its own. Pluto's amazing. It's transforming your home, okay? The other thing ancestors gave me was this. This is pretty amazing too. Yeah, so in the laboratory, cocaine is 4 parts away from sugar in the laboratory. This top one is cocaine, chemical composition of cocaine, and this is the chemical composition of sugar. I don't know if you can see that. Okay, so ancestors have told me they're gonna have 4 attempts in the justice system to try and make you look like cocaine, collective, when actually you're just sugar. You're an element that's pure and sweet, and they're really trying to make you into this cocaine. This evil chemical that needs to be abolished. But unless you know how to chemically balance these 2 equations, you're going to get 4 attempts to do it, because they're 4 parts away from each other in the lab. You're going to remain sugar. You're pretty much of the earth. You're probably one of those organic honey sugars. Okay, that's what you are, collective. But they're really trying to make you out to be this evil cocaine. Ancestors told me they did the hexes and the spells for a really long time. It gave them power, and they chose to show you who God was. Like, I'll show you who God is. That was their whole attitude, because you believed in a higher vibration. So they were like, well, we'll show you. and they got away with it for a really long time, because they were good at it. Anything you're good at, right, you'll keep doing, because you're getting results. It's like the crazy lady in Alice in Wonderland that was painting the roses red. Well, finally someone found the paint cans behind the barn and the receipts, and went to Home Depot and looked at the tapes, and oh wow, yeah, they've been painting a lot of roses red, because these roses were white, okay? And I'm getting a message. Okay, yeah, it's from one of the readings earlier. Yeah, because they don't like and this reading that I watched was saying that they don't like your beauty. They don't like because you're at a higher vibration, it's just, you give off this beauty. And it's not anything you try and do. It's just because of your higher vibration, there's just a beauty about you and your spirit. They don't like that. And that's where the hate is, because unless you're 10 feet under, they have to witness that. So they're trying to squash that right now and turn you into cocaine, which is 4 parts away from sugar. You're really sugar, okay? I don't know why Spirit gave that to me, but it was interesting enough to tell you all. So don't go in your kitchen and get the sugar bag and try and alter it to cocaine. I don't think it'll work, but somehow in the lab they can do that. But yeah, we give our kids that every day, so it makes sense when they get hopped up, you know, because it's so close to Coke. So anyway, yeah, the lady painting the roses red. They've been white the whole time, and yet they've gotten away with it. And people didn't really pay attention because roses can be red. So why would they question it, you know? And then they realized, oh damn, these were white roses. So yeah, that's where the hate comes in, because of your beauty collective. And I don't care if it's your voice, I don't care if it's your readings or how you walk or how you care for other people or just your gratitude, but that beauty is what they are out to show you. No, I'll show you what power is about, and power is about killing pretty. They want to kill pretty. They don't want pretty around them. Because to them, all the strength is in power. It's not in pretty. So, yeah. I don't know. We went to go get food the other night, and there was a bird on the little wire line, power line. It was like chirp, chirp, chirp. And this bird would not stop. This bird was chirping like nonstop. So I was pulling my car out, and I'm like, you know, I don't think that bird wants us to leave our house right now. So my kids are like, Mom, we're hungry. I'm like, I don't care. We're just going to order delivery. I'm not leaving the house. And I didn't. I felt like that bird was trying to tell me something. So pay attention. Use your intuition. Some of you have bought those cameras that you can hook up to your phone to watch your home while you're away. Because collectively, they know where you're at. They know how long it takes you to run these errands. They know... and these people are smart. They can get into your water. They can get into your and you'll never know. And then you'll feel like crap and you won't know why. I don't want to live like that. I don't want to live all paranoid. So I'll probably invest $100 just so I can be away from the house and watch my phone and see who the hell's, you know, because, but Spirit's seen all this. Spirit has seen this. Your ancestors are right on top of that wheel, right on top, looking down, going, what, really? Like, really? Because at this point, you've learned to break the hex, send it back, you loosen Satan. You said, elucid you. I don't want you here. You have no authority here. I stand on you. You're my footstool, Satan. I mean, you've said it all. You've broke the curse, and they keep sending it your way. Some days will be better than others, but they're not happy about it. So, in the middle of this reading, we have the secrets. Yeah, the secrets. Some of your ancestors already gave you the downloads for these secrets, and it's kind of blowing your mind how they kept them for so long. One example that happened to me is at 30 years old, I broke a hip. I don't think anyone breaks a hip at 30. It usually happens to like people in their 80s, but that was hex. That was spell work, okay? I broke a hip at 30. I was a runner, and they said, well, you had this hairline fracture and it just broke because you ran all the time. Okay, collective, I was not on the treadmill like 30 hours a day, okay? My hip should not have broke. Well, you drink too much soda pop. I really didn't drink a lot of soda pop, but if I had an IV of soda pop that was weakening my bones, and that was why I broke my bones, I'm not sure, but anyway, I, as the empath, made excuses for my family. Oh, they're so busy, they work so hard. They can't come and help me into the tub or to get dressed. Yeah, they left me alone with a broken hip. What in the hell is that about? But an empath will make excuses for those people in their life. Like, oh, they work so hard, they don't have time to help me. Your child has a broken hip. Okay, I think you can help them, you know, with their clothes and getting in the bath, and, you know, they have a broken hip. The hip breaking was more painful than childbirth. That's how painful that was. I'll never forget that pain. That was spell work. And that happened 10 years ago, but when I look back on all these incidences and how I was isolated during that time, and then me just like being totally cool about, oh, why they're not around to help, that's an empath, is like totally supporting and defending these people that were waiting for you to commit suicide because you were isolated and alone and had no one to help you. Do not do that. Do not do that. Get through it. Break the curse. Okay? Break the curse. Because you walk in victory. Okay? Your Spirit's going to give you the victory. It's what's going to happen. But anyway, the middle of the reading is secrets. And this could be you. Let's just qualify this and make sure this is you, because we know they do a lot of this too. But you're a manifester. Isn't that interesting how collective, you may have been living in the conditions you've been living in for a really long time. You're grateful for those conditions because you're breathing, you're powerful in spirit. But then you realize if all of that hadn't happened to me, I would actually be doing this. Because Spirit kind of puts in your head like, wait a minute, that was never supposed to happen to you. You weren't supposed to be under this hex, under this spell, because we wanted you here. And they give you this picture of this life. And all of a sudden, it causes like discontent almost, because you've been so happy and secure in just like this world that you can control. And all of a sudden, Spirit's showing you, yeah, but you're supposed to be here. And you're like, ah, oh, damn it, because it's going to stretch your mind a little bit during this time, because they want you to think of your better life. Although you've endured this life and you're good at it, they really want you to stretch your mind a little bit and put yourself in a bigger life, because you're a survivor. Okay, you've survived it. You're in this life and you're really good at it because you've survived it. But Spirit's trying to tell you, look, you're really supposed to be somewhere else. And that kind of hurts because, you know, it's I compare it to when they took the wall down in Russia. You know, when the two sides of the wall. Well, you know, they took that wall down, but a lot of people just lived the same because to them it was the same. You know, well, so what? I can go across the border now. To them, they were just used to that wall being there. So it was kind of hard for them, you know. It took a lot of psychological change for them to realize, oh yeah, I'm supposed to be, like, I'm sorry, I'm messing with that, but it took psychological change for them to realize, oh yeah, I'm supposed to be over there, not over here. So this magician, let's see here. I saw the strength card. I like the magician because of that eternity symbol. Like, no matter if you take that away, I've always said this, it's always, you can't take that away mathematically because it's infinity. It's always going to be there. And that's what they tried to do to you. And then now you're immortal, which really pisses them off, collective. Because they realize no matter what we do to this person, they're going to be there. Until Spirit or Source says, okay, the assignment's up. I mean, you signed this contract. You knew coming down here how hard this was going to be, and these obstacles. You signed up for it. And maybe you did it because you had bad karma from your last life. I mean, maybe you did it because you knew that, okay, if I get through this, I'll make up for all that bad crap I did to those people in my last life. I don't know. I would say you're pretty much breaking even at this point because of all this bad stuff that's happened to you. You probably have dharma at this point. So this magician has 3 qualifiers. We have this loving offer, this strength to end a stalemate. So yeah, this is probably from your environment. So these people that have been doing this to you realize, well, we have to find the strength to do some kind of loving offer to end this stalemate, unless they just want to keep it in the courts for the next 10 years. And that happens. Like, these people assume, you know, these different companies, and they take it to court, and my God, it takes like 15 years. Like, I've worked for litigators before, and the files are huge, and it takes, because they just keep postponing it. You know, they know how to keep it in the courts. And so there isn't really an answer for anybody. And that's probably what they're going to do, to tell you the truth, because they don't want to admit they're wrong. But that doesn't matter to you, collective, because you've cut that relationship off, and that was huge. That just cutting the root of that tree away is helping you. Does that make sense? So regardless if they decide to come forward through litigation to tell you, look, you know, I'm sorry, your name was hidden in these documents for all this time, and you didn't know, and that's the way Spirit wanted it. They didn't want you to know, because you did everything just blindly, and that showed your true spirit, that you weren't a part of this. You had no idea this even existed, okay? because I think that's what they wanted to say to almost, they knew about it. So they wanted, no, well, you had no idea. Your ancestors gave you these downloads and you're just like blown away. You're like, well, now it all makes sense. You didn't want me here, so you could take home the good, whatever. And think about it. If your bloodline was cursed, think about it. And you'd been living 30 years under a curse, and all of a sudden you had an opportunity through this paperwork to live the kind of life that you could only see, other people living, you would probably jump at it. You would probably do it. But it's going to cost you, because when you dance with that devil with the blue dress, music's is going to stop. Music stops. Guess what? And you're faced with that payback. Like, okay, time's up. Now you owe me. And that's what happened, is they were dancing with this devil with the blue dress, the music stopped, and now you got to pay the piper. So yeah, this is your karmic. This and the good news is you learn to do this too, but in a good way. And you don't have any like cauldrons or spiders or snakes in your kitchen. You just have sugar, and it's not going to turn to cocaine no matter how hard you try. So that's, yeah, and maybe that's part of why Spirit gave me that, is because this is going to look sugary on the outside, collective, but it's really cocaine. So maybe don't even touch this, okay? Don't even touch this. Just saying. So in the lowerness of your consciousness is this King of Wands. This could be a father, and Spirit wanted me to talk about this too. Maybe in some of the relationships you grew up around, you saw one person with more power than the other person in a partnership. I saw this, and it really wasn't fair, because I saw one person making all the decisions while the other person chose not to use their power, chose to just be okay with this other person doing everything. Well, what happens is you don't know a lot of information, right? Like it would be like you collective being in a marriage where, oh, okay, here's my $40 a week. I get this allowance, here's your $40, you go buy the laundry soap and you clean my house. You know what I mean? It's like, really? But that's how it is you've seen these relationships around you that are not balanced. And that Lovers card, that's what that's about, is those two people on that number 6, the Lovers. That card is about balancing those powers, okay? The Tree of Life and the Tree of Knowledge. Let's have balance here. And Spirit will balance that if you allow it. But this in your subconscious, that wasn't balanced growing up. That was part of the curse, is letting someone lead this life with this other partner that they were in the dark. That's what I'm feeling, okay? There were a lot of things they didn't know about, and they were okay with it because they got their allowance, they got their, and I'm not saying this person didn't make as much money as that other partner, because they probably both made, they probably, and they worked it out somehow, where to go to eat every night, and they worked it out some way, but still, it wasn't right, because one person balanced the money and the other person just got the little allowance. When you're in a spiritual partnership, that's not going to be like that. That other person is going to use your spiritual gifts to help them. Like that, it's going to be like this utilization of like, thank you so much for letting me lean on you. And so then maybe next week, I can lean on you. It's just, that's the way it should balance, and Spirit knows that. And this wasn't like that at all. One person held more authority. And they walked the line to keep that relationship. They knew the line to walk to not upset that person with power. And that happened all the way down. All the children, all the cousins, they knew what they could say and what they couldn't say to upset that person that held the power. That's a narcissist. That's a narcissist. Okay. And look, all that shit I just spewed out, that was truth. Yeah, that's what Spirit wants me to talk about, is this narcissism. Because, look, the spell work worked. It worked. And it worked for so long that they got too big for coming under authority. They were the authority. Now, I'm going to tell you, collective, and you know this, anywhere you go, you're going to come under authority. It don't matter if you're at the grocery store, video store, gas station, there's rules to follow, okay? I don't be smoking my cigarette by the gas tank when I'm filling up my tank, okay? There's rules to follow. You don't go down the highway and start littering down the highway, okay? Because there's rules on the highway. You know the rules, okay? Well, this person got so successful at the spell work that they became the authority. They were the rules. They were the God. And they really resented you, collective, because you beat to your own drum, first of all, and there was beauty in your beat. And so they really wanted to squash that, because I'm going to show you that there's no God and that I'm the one in power. You know, it doesn't matter if you believe in God or not. Your vibration is crucial. But just the fact that that person wanted to be different, that's what gets me. It's like, I just wanted to be different. And I sought a different avenue. And that's where the hate comes in. It's like, well, you think that there's a God. Well, I'm going to show you that there isn't one, because I'm the one that's in charge. Why would you care if someone believed in God or not? I mean, if your vibration's high and my vibration's high and we're doing what's good, then there shouldn't be any evil. See, that's what I don't get, is why there's evil. But it's that competition, envy, greed, and that's this vibration. I don't jive to that, because if I see someone else doing good, I'm sure the hell not going to get in their way, and that's truth. Okay. And you're moving away from all this fog. Okay, it's a lot of fog. Have you seen the videos on National Geographic? There'll be these colonies of ants, okay? Colonies of ants. If an ant gets hurt, they'll try and get that hurt ant to the hive so that they can nurse that ant back to health. And these are really cool videos to watch on YouTube. But if an ant knows that they're hurt severely and that they're not going to make it to the hive, they'll purposely flail around and make sure that the other ants like desert them so that the betterment of the colony survive without them, because they don't want the extra energy put into helping them. That's what this person thought was going to happen to you, collective. Like, we'll just isolate her enough that they'll just commit suicide and we won't have to worry about them. Really? Like, am I an ant? That's what they thought. And that was the confusion. It's like, and you made excuses for it. You made excuses for it. These people work hard. They're too busy. No. I don't care how hard you work. If your kid is injured, you help them, you know? And it's causing this person a lot of burdens, because they can't put that burden on you anymore, collective. So it's causing them a lot of burdens. So you're moving toward, they're moving toward. This person probably especially is having to walk away. I don't think this person of less power, because the high priestess, the Hierophant is the one that held the power in my particular readings that I do. This person was under the Hierophant. So they didn't know all that was going on. They just were bonded to them, what have you. But they're having to walk away, and I don't feel like, I don't know what's fair in that, but the fact that they didn't speak up or say something, or they allowed that dominance to happen years and years and years. So now they're kind of like, well, what do you do? I mean, they're having to walk away and experience this death with this Hierophant. And it's not, I mean, if they looked at it lovingly, this Two of Cups, if they looked at it lovingly, it's just the right thing to do. They're unless you're 10 feet under, collective, it's not going to be loving. It's not. But it's the end. You can't, your spells aren't going to work, okay? They're not going to work. And yeah, you're going to make that person miserable, but why? Why? You're just wasting your energy. You can't take any more of the collective's energy. And this is going to be in the sun. This is going to be definitely out and about for people to see. And maybe your situation, these people were really high up in the community. Maybe they were leaders in the community, and maybe this is like, wow, this sucks for that person. But, I wear stripes too, but my stripes are spiritual. Like, my stripes were given to me from, like, my ancestors and people that cared enough to give me information from Most High. I don't wear my stripes out in public and go, yo, you know what I mean? But I feel like a lot of these people, collective, did. They had a badge, or they had papers, they had credentials, and they abused them. And it's like, that's snake in that cup. That's what's going to be revealed right now. That's a snake in the cup. You looked up to them. You gave them respect. And that's not what ancestors are like, no more, no more, no more. And then there's going to be a victory. Oh, good reading, right? Good reading. There is a victory. There is a victory. Yeah. Because this crazy lady painting the roses red when they were really white, you know? Alice in Wonderland, this lady, she went around painting the roses red. These roses were white the whole time, collective. They were never meant to be red. Nobody questioned it because sometimes roses are red, so why question it, right? They're just trying to change sugar to cocaine, and they can't do it. So, have a happy July 25th. I just feel these awesome planets up top doing their job. We just gotta sit and watch where it's all gonna come out. So, I love you. Have a good day.